struggling to win more gunfights in Apex Legends? Well, I have the perfect guide for you. In this guide, we're going to talk about one technique in particular, and that is hip firing. Hip firing in Apex Legends is incredibly powerful. I mean, it's probably the most powerful hip fire mechanic in all of the FPS titles I've ever played, except games that are attack shooters like CSGO and Valorant. If you played games like Call of Duty and Fortnite, you will definitely know that the hip fire is not necessarily the greatest, and it can be frustrating at times. I remember it plenty of times when I was a kid. You know, you walk up behind somebody, they got a free kill, and you barrel stuff them from behind, all hip fire, no ADS, and you miss pretty much every shot. And then sometimes you get horked on, and you're just sitting there like, what the hell just happened? In Apex Legends, that's not the case. Aside from the no audio that I'm sure everybody's experienced, if you decide to hip fire somebody from close range, you're more than likely going to get at least a shield break and hopefully a knock. Hip firing is pretty accurate within 20 meters. However, if you go less than and you go around 10 meters and you float in that range, you're doing pretty damn good. You don't necessarily have to do every single close range fight like that. However, within 10 meters, you shouldn't be ADSing at all. And if you aren't hip firing, you need to incorporate it more because you'll definitely win more fights. Now, of course, you may miss a few more shots than you normally would. However, the benefit of strafing faster is way more important. All the pros hip fire once they get within that specific range, and it completely changes the dynamic of the fight. The main benefit of hip firing in close range scenarios is that you'll be able to strafe back and forth very quickly. If you ADS, unless you're using an SMG, you're not going to strafe very quickly. In fact, you're going to be very, very slow, easier to hit, especially if somebody else is hip firing against you. In a close range fight, this is your strafe speed while ADSing. It's pretty damn slow, right? Like I said, if your opponent is hip firing against you and you're ADSing trying to get them in a close range fight, you're more than likely going to go down unless you hit every single shot in the head. Here's an example of your strafing when you're hip firing. As you can tell, it's way quicker. You're still pretty accurate for the most part, and you're a little harder to hit. Every fight within 10 to 20 meters, you should be hip firing, or at least integrating a hip fire within that. You should not be ADSing or ADSing the whole time. When you are hip firing, you should be going back and forth. Do not spam AD or left, right. It's not really going to do much for you, and you're pretty much still just a sitting target. Also, try to avoid going in one direction entirely. Try to switch it up. And in between strafing back and forth, left and right, make sure you throw in a crouch. The crouching aspect is going to make you harder to hit while in the fight. And of course, you want every single advantage that you can get. Here are some other examples of hip firing in Apex Legends and how good it is. Make sure you incorporate this technique into your close range fights and you'll win way more fights in Apex Legends. Also, if you play mouse and key and you're looking for tips and tricks to improve your aim, watch this video right here. It'll help you out. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. I'd highly appreciate it. It'll help me push out more Apex Legends content in the future. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.